All right, moving on to Lethal Weapon 2. Where is it? Lethal Weapon 2. Here we go. The director's cut. And now, I know what's different in the director's cut of 1, but I do not know what's different as much in the director's cut of these first 3. So, I don't know. Can you tell me? Can you tell me the difference? Or I'll look it up after. I don't know. Either way, let me know below if you know what they are. All right, so Lethal Weapon 2. We get started here with, another running joke. Murtaugh's getting his wife's car beat up here, right, left, and center. I like how Rig kicks out the fucking front windshield like that's not a big thing, no big deal. Those things just come right out. This is so still. This is so stupid to me. They do this in so many fucking movies. Those windows do not come out that easily. But they sure as hell make it seem like they do. The crooks in this movie definitely have some serious influence with them because they are getting hellevaced right on out of these situations. It's so dramatic, but it makes for good action sequences and makes things grand and illustrious. And the way the gold drops out, these Cougarans, they drop out of this trunk, they all like come out in one flow. This makes no sense. Now I know it's an aesthetic choice. If they would open it up and it would have all fell, they wouldn't have been able to tell it was coins. Like, I get why the filmmakers do it, but when I'm looking at it logically as a real thing that's happening in front of me, if I'm trying to immerse myself when they're falling out of the trunk like that, it makes 0 sense. Okay, it's a Cougaran of sense. Or a Cougaran isn't cents, it's dollars, isn't it? I don't know what the fuck a Cougaran is, honestly. I know it's currency of some sort. But what money, like how much a Cougaran is worth? It's got to be worth a fuck ton if it's made of pure gold. So, I don't know. Do they actually use a Cougaran in any country? Like in just going to the grocery store, here's a Cougaran? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. What is it? I don't know. Anyways, moving on. The infamous straitjacket scene, which is parodied very well in Loaded Weapon Part 1. You gotta watch it. There is no Loaded Weapon Part 2, but that's the name of the movie. Loaded Weapon Part 1. Check it out. I just, recommend it in the last one. I'm not going to go back into it here. And then, Mel Gibson knows the knuckle trick with the coin on the knuckles like Val Kilmer does. And we see him do it in a bunch of movies. And in Real Genius, he actually does it in both hands at once. I have no idea how to do that thing. It's pretty damn cool. And now I have that fucking song that's playing in Real Genius when he's doing that. Just to be number one. I have that song stuck in my head. I hope that doesn't fuck me up during this review. Oh, I love that song. I love that movie, man. If you haven't seen Real Genius with Val Kilmer, please do yourself a favor. It's fucking phenomenal. It's one of my favorite films of all time. Anyways, and now Murtaugh just seems to have so much money. Now, this is only addressed in the 4th film when his wife becomes this has this pseudonym that she's writing under, Ebony Clark or something like that. And that's how they're making all this extra income. But, dude, Murtaugh is doing all sorts of shit throughout these films. This huge house with his family. Like, aren't cops, historically paid, shit? So, I like how in the 4th one, all of a sudden, they're like, where are you getting all this money? Because he hands out, a few 20s to his kids. And they're like, where are you getting all this money? It's like, where the fuck was he getting money for an addition to the house and a boat and all that? What are you guys talking about? You're just now catching on to this? Like, how long has Trish been writing? Is that something that they have... I don't know. In the 4th one, do they say how long she's been doing it? Maybe she's been doing this for a while. I don't know. I'd have to pay attention to that scene again, but I think it's a new thing. But it would be cool if they did write that into the 4th one to kind of explain why the fuck he has so much money in this franchise. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with she's been writing the whole damn time. I like that. Maybe it's said outright that that's not true in the 4th one and I missed it, but unless it has been said, I'm going with it. I'm filling in a headcanon here. All right, so then Rianne does a condom commercial, which, of course, the reoccurring joke they constantly give Murtaugh shit throughout this franchise. He's always got some kind of thing that his cops are giving him shit about. The condoms here are good. And then we got the plastic scene. The guy gets shot over the plastic, and then the other henchman's like, "Oh, I'm just checking my surroundings for plastic." That's pretty funny. And Riggs talks about how he missed dinner. This is a very sad scene where he's talking to Trish about the gold pen and all of that. That's a real sad scene, and you can see that it's still on his mind. And I like throughout this franchise, his wife isn't just forgotten. Like, he's still struggling with this in the third and fourth movie. It's not until the very, very end of the fourth one that he finally lets his wife's death go. So I like that that's consistent throughout. This is where we're introduced to Leo Gets. Anything you want, Leo gets. Get it? Joe Pesci, who plays a much different character than he does in something like Goodfellas. He is fucking fantastic in this. He's a great addition to this. He plays like a completely different character than Murtaugh or Riggs. The only real, like, I don't even want to say this is an issue, but something that is very apparent throughout this is they are fucking horrible to Leo. I mean, horrible to him. This poor dude throughout this franchise. And then he does make Riggs feel like a total piece of shit at the end of the fourth one, which I love. And I think that Froggy story is fucking heartbreaking. But yeah, they're so bad to this guy. Now he is a criminal and this and that. Maybe that's the way they treat him. And he is annoying, but dude, they really, really, really fuck him here. Speaking of fucking somebody, that's like Riggs' go-to line in this franchise. He's always pissed off and he's always talking about fucking people. He's like, I'm gonna fuck them. I'm gonna fuck them. Like, dude, this dude is hard up. Since his wife died, he needs to get his fucking rocks off, and he seems to want to take it out on criminals. He's really gonna fuck someone. That should have been a scene in this fucking movie. It should have been in this director's cut. That would have been an added scene where he's just like fucking, one of these guys. Diplomatic immunity, and he's like, not your asshole, and he's fucking, come here. Yeah, I'm gonna give you some diplomatic immunity. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so the whole, like, witness protection, like, he gets pushed out the window, him, Leo, and the other dude fall 7 stories, they say specifically 7 stories into the pool that's, like, 4 feet deep. Not a fucking chance in hell they're surviving this fall. None, 0 chance. They're all dead, but whatever, it's a film, there you go. Poor Leo gets punched, and then he's like screaming like, I can't swim. And I was gonna say, dude, this fucking thing's only 4 feet, how can he not just walk out of there? And then I'm like, oh, because Joe Pesci's like 3 feet, so I guess that makes sense. And then he pulls on fucking Leo's broken nose. I'm telling you, they're piece of shits to them or to Leo in this damn movie. And they keep leaving Leo alone in a car, the witness they're supposed to be protecting, and he ends up getting his ass kidnapped because of this, because of their shitty police work. They're shitty cops. They really are, throughout this franchise. Like, we're supposed to look up to them as good cops, but they're shit cops, 100%. Riggs constantly fucks everything up, and Murtaugh is too trusting or gullible or dumb to get it. And so they're shit cops, but I love them. In real life, they'd be a fucking disaster, though. And yeah, I mean, they have no probable cause for anything when they go anywhere. Who cares, right? So they go to this house with Leo. This is a deleted scene. Is the scene where Leo is trying to remember where he knows this number. And he's talking about his lucky number being whatever number it was. All that shit. 9, I want to say. It's whatever it is. Doesn't matter. But that's the deleted scene. Now, if there's more of them, I don't know. But that's the one. I recognize that one not being in the movie. Anyway, we get the surfboard kill in here. The guy gets a surfboard through the windshield. I feel like the windshield would slow. Like, I don't think that the surfboard would go through the windshield like that, and if it did, I would think it would slow it down enough. It wouldn't impale the guy. So, it's a movie, though. We've got these whole South African counselors, consulates, whatever, diplomatic immunity, you know. Murtaugh has his famous line that he says here in every one of these fucking movies, which is "Go spit, Rig." Everybody's go spit instead of go fuck yourself. He's got go spit. He's an old timer. He's an old timey kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that says no malarkey. You know, a real serious man. I love when Murtaugh laughs at getting that rubber plant, the plant made of actual rubbers. His laugh. I said it before, but his laugh is the fucking best. Anytime he breaks down and just laughs, it's amazing. I love it. He's like so expressive with his laugh. He lets his whole fucking mouth, everything get into it, and it's just contagious. I can't get enough of it. They fuck you at the drive-through. They fucked you with cell phones. They fuck you like Leo. Everything fucks you with Leo. And then Riggs shows up and actually fucks you. So there you go. We get Subway products here, which actually kind of makes sense because Rig talks about how they're the younger the better in the first movie, and that was actually what Jared from Subway was caught saying on some video or call or something when he was like trying to watch child porn or he was trying to get a hooker or something. Like the younger the better. Like literally, I think that was verbatim what he said, and that was like that's what like brought his fucking career down. Now that is something about worth and like trashing a guy's fucking thing over. Him talking about Jews when he's getting arrested. Yeah, it's not something that we're gonna be proud of him saying, but I think we can see the difference between that and a guy who's fucking children, like legitimately children. Okay. So yeah, anyway, moving on. And now how Rig gets to that building where our diplomatic immunity prick here pulls up and he has the sign out in front of the joint. How he gets there before him makes no sense to me. Because he runs a red light and Rig is still behind him. So he pulls up and Rig's already there with a sign. Who knows, man? I don't know what to tell you here. And then Leo cleans Rig's place, and Riggs is actually pissed off. This is probably true of some fucking hoarders, you know, disgusting slob. Because anytime they try to like, oh, you ever want to see me the most mad I'll ever get, throw on an episode of Hoarders and just watch me scream that they should burn down the house with the people in them. I can't stand that fucking show, and I can't stand those people. I was raised in a hoarder house, okay? I have a reason to be so angry. It fucking pisses me off. Throw your shit away. And don't have the little fucking like psychologist there, and he's like, "Hey, honey, you see this little like piece of a wrapper? Is it okay if I throw it away?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know. I think I can use it later." Fuck you. Fuck you. Burn her and burn the house down. Or actually, what I want to see is the episode where they pull her outside and they're like, you know what? Fuck it. And they burn the house and we just watch her like we get a fucking close up of her tears, of her eyes, of her face, just looking at her house. She's crying. It'll completely rid her of her problem. Like, you can't have a fucking hoarder house if you don't have a fucking hoarder house, right? Problem solved, okay? We fucking are moving on to the next house. This place is clean. You think I have enough passion about fucking hoarder houses? There you go. Moving on. Leo is so nice to these guys too. That's another thing. Like, that's why it's so hard to watch, because he's just so fucking nice. We got the toilet bomb scene in here, which I love. This is where they get the on 3. Or do they have that in the first one? No, I think it's in the second one. This is the first time we get it is in the second one. Yeah, because he's like, so is it on 3 or is it 1, 2, 3, and then you go? Which is a great question. Anytime it's on 3, it's always like 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, go. Like, that really does have to be confirmed, especially when they only have a second to get into that damn toilet. And very good that Riggs stayed behind, because his legs definitely wouldn't work. I love that the cast is reoccurring throughout this. No, even if it's bit parts, like the guy who plays the bomb expert is the bomb expert in the other movies as well, which is great. Love that continuity, and I love that it's fucking Raymaker from Just One of the Guys. Tuna salad on whole wheat. Watch the movie. So real genius, just one of the guys, you know, and burn hoarders' houses to the ground. Those are the life lessons of the day. And the wife's cooking jokes just continue here, of course. No way that toilet is intact. How that blows up and lands on someone's car fully intact makes a 0 sense. That fucking toilet would be teeny bits of scrap. It would be nothing, just like the house that you burnt down because the fucking girl was crying over a receipt that she might need from 1912. You fucking pricks. Yeah, it's just so funny when that toilet comes down. It's like, why is that toilet completely intact? It's completely intact. The fucking C4 was rigged to it. So stupid. And oh man, when they go into the South African place, and he's like, "Oh, my friend wants to go to South Africa," and he comes out and he's like, "Why can't I go?" And the guy's like, "But you're black." The way that Leo says that later, but you're black. I love it. Super funny, and it's actually one of the genuine scenes between Leo and all of them where they're laughing together and having fun. So there you go. Then Rig comes in. Destruction of property, especially for some dude who has diplomatic immunity, seems to mean nothing to Rig. So he just comes in, shoots the fucking fish tank. He does this throughout the franchise. He just comes in, he breaks Benny's glass. He doesn't give a shit about any rules. It's Rig, and he's just gonna get promoted. He's gonna go from this to captain to fucking lieutenant to whatever. He's all over the damn place throughout this franchise. They just keep promoting the guy, no matter how much of the city blows up, no matter how many laws he breaks. It don't matter. He pulls down an entire fucking house with his truck in this movie, and he doesn't seem to get in any trouble for it. He gets a damn commendation. So there you go. That's how police work is rewarded. Police work. Why would Leo get out of that side of the car that would have the door knocked off? This makes no sense. He would get out on the other side by the fucking sidewalk. Why would Leo get out on that side? I get it's for the joke. He opens the door, but this makes no fucking sense at all. Leo is not that dumb. But whatever, it's kind of funny. Then we are introduced to Rika, which if you were dating her, wouldn't she be Eureka? Eureka. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. The jokes, people. And yes, I know when your girlfriend is like your girlfriend, she's not your property. She's not actually yours. It was a joke. Have a sense of fucking humor, people. But oh man, Rika, what a babe. What a babe. But let me tell you, Rig doesn't listen to the rules, nor does he listen to the word no. She's fucking straight up is like, no. No, 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 no. And then he makes a fucking scene forcing her to go with him. Then he brings her back to his place, bangs her, and this gets her killed. She wouldn't have hung out with him. She wouldn't have got killed. She said no. This ends up in her death. Dude, it's hard to argue this any other way. Like, no means no. You got her killed. So, you gonna put a gun to your head for this one too? Or are you just gonna blame it on them? There's no blame for himself at all. None. That's the scene that's missing from this. He should have been like, she told me no, I pulled her into this, this is my fault. No, he only blames that. And then of course this is, further exacerbated by the fact that the guy mentioned or like tells Rig straight out, like, I killed your wife. So I killed your girlfriend and your wife. And the fucking scene where he finds her body is tragic, man. She's down there and she's dead, and oh, it's so sad, but fuck is she beautiful. And we get to see her tits in a really awesome sex scene, and ooh, she is beautiful. But man, that's super, super tragic. And she's so cute, and I really like their chemistry. She's good. She's real good in this. So it's sad she's gotten rid of so quickly, but it's Rig's fault. It really is. And the comedy in this movie is a bit much at times, and I think that's kind of true throughout the franchise, where it's like, would he really be making jokes right now? Like, really? I don't think so, but whatever. And let's see. The straitjacket convenience, of course, we're acknowledged that Rig can dislocate his shoulder, but this is typical plot convenience. This is why we introduce things. Everything has to have meaning in the script, and we are now introduced. Now, I would love it if they kind of had this planned in advance, and his straitjacket thing would have been done in the first one, and then he utilizes it here in the second one, so we don't see it coming, because we kind of forgot about it, and then we're like, oh yeah, in the first one he has a dislocated shoulder. This is why I like the MCU so much, is because they set up things that aren't capitalized on until like 4 fucking films later, 10 films later sometimes. You know, this also takes place in like Saw, the Saw franchise, where Amanda reads that letter in part 3, and then we don't really get the full weight of what's in that letter until part 6. I love that shit when it pays off so much later, not just in the same fucking movie. But movies should be self-contained without sequels in mind. I understand, but when you're doing something like the MCU, you do have that convenience. And but for now, we have to deal with that. We introduced the dislocatable shoulder in this one, and we're going to use it in the opportune moment. That's fine. And then he goes and he pulls this house down with his truck. I feel like his axle was just ripped right the fuck off the back of his truck before this house came down, but he pulls it down. This is a very expensive scene, I read. It was like $500,000 to make this happen, but it does look great. And then I don't know why they would lock them in with the money that they like rounded up, and the amount of money that would be in that crate would be like trillions of dollars. It was an outrageous amount of money, because you can see they're $1,000 bills. $1,000 bills. You ever fucking seen $1,000 bill? Is $1,000 bill even a thing? I don't know. Is it? I think 500s are real, right? So is there $1,000 bill? And if you came with like millions of fucking $1,000 bills, you don't think this would raise any red flags? $1,000 bill. Where the fuck are you gonna spend $1,000 bill? It's the fucking Donald Trump lotto. And the money is just outrageous. I like how Murtaugh's like, I can't take it. It's dirty money. It's like, oh, now you play by the rules. Now you care. Bullshit. He took that money. He should have taken that money. Why not? This guy beats the fuck out of Riggs. Riggs gets his ass kicked a lot in this franchise, actually. He gets his ass beat, and he's beaten by this dude who killed his wife and his girlfriend, or the girl that he got murdered. But he beats the shit out of him, and it's only because Rig, gets the one up on him about grabbing this thing and dropping it on this guy. But he also gets his ass beaten by Jet Li. He gets his ass beat a good amount in this, which is good. Your hero shouldn't be impervious, and I know Rig was originally intended to die in this movie. Shane Black wanted him dead, and he actually disowns the franchise now as a whole because he thinks they've ruined the characters. But he wrote like a really dark, gritty second film, which was like mostly void of comedy, and it ended on a real down note. And if you pay attention, they even shot it that way, because in the end, when Riggs laying there on Murtaugh, he's not moving. He is dead in that shot when they fucking pan away. So maybe they brought him back to life. I don't know, but yeah. The whole like it's been revoked line, it's just been revoked, diplomatic immunity, swirls the neck. That's one of my favorite like lines ever. I love it. It's such a great closing line for a bad guy, and the whole exchange, the diplomatic immunity, the head swim, the whole thing. I love it. It's great. They parody this in Family Guy, of course. They parody fucking Die Hard and every other damn thing. So that's nothing new, but it's just been revoked. Good stuff. And yeah, we get the happy ending here that Shane Black didn't want. So there you go. All right, anyways, moving on.